What's up, YouTube? Welcome to today's video. It's currently Sunday, May 23rd, 1:55 a.m. And today we're going to talk about MATIC. We're going to talk about the general market, and I'm going to actually update you guys or the previous video on total market cap, because I just noticed that the play that I had on the last video, I recommend you guys watching that video, worked out to perfection. But we'll get into it in this video. So let's get right to it. All right, let's get to it. So we're gonna start off with MATIC because it was one of those coins, and also my brother's holding a good amount of it, and you know he got out a little bit, so it's a favored coin. But I am a little bit concerned because I'm more of a technical a guy, and he's more of a fundamental type of trend follower. So I want to talk about this volume that we just recently had. It shows very clearly on the 3-day chart. This is MATIC, not the perpetuals, but the other one. So if you see that 4 billion right here, that's the volume in a 1 3-day candle at the top here, right? And the other one right here was at 80 cents, and I was aware of this one, but this one got supported, and we're going to zoom into it because it's that candle right here. And we talked about this in previous videos if I posted them. But yeah, we talked about this in previous videos. Basically, this was a support candle, and the moment that it broke above that support candle, it was a buy, right? Because the market got supported. But here's the thing. This was not a support candle. It's the same volume, but it's a different price action, which means these guys sold, and we're going to see very clearly on the daily what it caused. You know, we're talking about like a 50%, 60% drop, which means that they sold on market, right? So people that are buying on limit orders are holding most likely a loss. And how do we know this? A volume profile. Volume profile. Let's go to the 4-hour chart, and we keep it split screens here, and we're going to get into the trend of MATIC as well here. Hold on. So you see this indicator I have on the left here, right? It is called the volume at price, VAP. It's a very, very powerful indicator if you have TradingView Pro. And so the reasons that I have these two things right here is because if you pull up the Fibonacci, it's sitting right at the 382. If I get the exact low here, this pivotal point, I always use the magnet. I try to use the magnet because it's like more precise and for the exact low here. But anyways, we hit the 382 already, and like we wicked a little bit down, and now we're trying to form a double bottom. And I mentioned in the group that I am long right now with a 1R risk, and I'm currently up 3 Rs at this time. Very, very tight stop loss. Very tight stop loss. And you can see, let's talk about like the MACD, the RSI. I'm trying to get really in that great habit of criterias, right? Criterias for entry, 3 to 5 confluent reasons for entry. I don't want to overcomplicate the work, but it does have to be done, and I find that if we focus on the longer time frames, we will be able to capitalize on the big moves, because this guy here was 61%, and then it also went up 300% just in 1 week or 8 days. And to be honest with you guys, my older brother, he told me about it right here, but I forgot about it until someone mentioned it in the group at about $1. And yeah, so I mean we could have been trading all these moves right here, all these retracements, and I'll show you a really good strategy. To be honest, I don't really want to show anybody, but it's like it's completely obvious that all of the market makers bots are on the this is the cycle that I would, not this one here, but it's a different cycle. and it's just so amazing and perfect that I almost don't want to show too many people. Yeah, so I don't have a big subscriber base, which is probably a good thing. But like if it's an organized group of people, that would be the best, right? We're all focused on the right stuff, which is portfolio growth. And so yeah, a little bit long-term thing. So the cliche or the saying goes, in the summer, sell in May, go away, because these guys, they go on vacation, right? And then they come back September typically. And about 2 months ago, April, I was sharing that information. But I should have anticipated, and I should have been part of this short, right? Because I knew it was coming. By the way, look at Fibonacci number in terms of percentages. I study a lot of Gann, W.D. Gann, William Delbert Gann, and that's one of his systems to look for retracements like that in terms of percentages. Many hours of studies goes into it, but the skill in trading is applying the knowledge. It's not all about the knowledge, but it's about applying the knowledge, and that's it's all about terms of habit, right? Subconscious behavior. And that's why I believe Phil Khan is so good at trading, is because he's done it subconsciously. He can do it subconsciously. So what did I want to say about this trend right here? So there's a few things. There's a possible double bottom right here, okay? And there's like a good retrace right here. So probably like about 100% or less, like maybe 30%, whatever. I'm aiming for a 21% retrace. That's a 20-to-1 RR for me. Unfortunately, it's pulling back a little bit, but it's all good. So let's go to the longer time frames here. I just want to explain a couple things, and we'll go right to the trend. We'll also take a look at the total market cap. So as you can see, this is the monthly chart with 8 days left to close. RSI at 97 on the monthly. Take a look at the 2-week as well. We're currently probably going to close below resistance, resistance, and then probably going to start coming downwards. On this 2-week, we're closing tomorrow. So on the weekly, also closing tomorrow. This is kind of a bearish candle, right? Because lots of resistance selling. And there's probably a few technical reasons why this thing is, getting resistance. But we're going to look at what I had on my charts. And I believe I made a video about this, but I had this on log scale as the 1, the 2, the 3. And then breaking it down here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 3 of the 3, 4, and then 5. And that's why we went into a shorter time frame to look at this guy here, this wave. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I knew right around here. Wait, hold on. Where are we? This one right around here. Hold on. That's the daily chart. As if it's so volatile. But this wave here, I knew that there was one more. It was right here. I knew that there was one more wave right here because it wasn't complete. Now here's the question: is there going to be one more wave upwards to complete it, or is it done? And it's going to retrace the whole range right here, right? Because if that's a very big retracement, we could come down and like test the 382 here. So let's go ahead and add an alert, because it's really important to catch these alerts, right? Look, like this wick right here hit that 382 of this range and literally bounced, guys, like 60 or like 100% already. So I mean, if we get a double bottom, we're lucky. By the way, the trade's looking decent right now. We just got a supply test, and We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna mention. We're gonna take a look at total market cap as well. This one I'm really excited to. Maybe I should make another video on top of this one because it's a big, kind of a long explanation. But I'm pretty sure I know where the trend is for the total crypto market cap. So let's go to the next chart here, the trending strategy. This is the bullish cycle. Okay, so if you guys are looking for a long on MATIC, even though I just explained that there's so much distribution at the top here, and I might have not given the best explanation here, so let's go right into the analysis here. You see this huge sell candle. That's a market sell. Okay, and then they literally bought it back. This is market manipulation at its finest, because they sell it, okay, and then they buy it all back to make it okay. It's fine, you know, the price is fine, okay, but no one knows, for those guys that are holding, that this thing literally just dropped 55%. Right, so they go on their app and they're just checking the prices. You see it on the prices right here. It's all about psychology, right? It's fine, you know. Not, you know, BTC just dropped 10%, but this thing's fine. And MATIC was strong. It was strong, but I didn't even notice that this thing had a huge wick going down right to the 382, right to the 382 right here. So that's all. That's why it's so important to have alerts set. So let's talk about these moving averages, these EMAs, and talk about this little system that I built here for trend following to make it easier on the eyes. So I'm not always, you know, going back and forth here. So we're not really going to talk about the MACD, the RSI right now, although they are looking decent. This is 40 to 45 in the bounce zone. But the most important thing is these moving averages. Okay, these moving averages are very important for these programs, these bots. I'm gonna say it's to follow and trend the prices into their targets, and their targets are probably derived by Fibonacci extensions, like we just seen right here. So here's the thing, like this is on this chart here, the 21-hour chart, we're still bullish because we're above this moving average. It's a very strong moving average, you can see, but it has wicked in the past, like 21% below it. So here's the thing. Let's go back on the 5-hour chart because these two go hand in hand. We have a crossover that just happened here, and we had a crossover that happened here. So obviously that was a really good sell opportunity, but a lot of times it chops you out on this on this one right here. So that's how the traders have systems that they basically track their spreadsheets on strategies. So sometimes they work very well. This one worked pretty decently for a simple crossover strategy, right? But sometimes it doesn't work as good. So you kind of got to know it. This one would have worked amazing if you bought it right here, because it never would have crossed over except right here. So I mean, all that trend is literally like 2,000%, and then you would have got back in right here, right? So I mean, that's common sense, basics, and it's only a 5-hour chart. So here's the 1-hour chart for these things right here. We're currently the 89 right now is currently on this thing right here, and I'm really expecting a double bottom here. But my hope is that we stay above this double bottom, because that's where my stop loss is, to be honest. So that's what I'm hoping for. Looking for some divergences here a little bit, just for our habit, right, to look at the right indicators, and also the Fibonacci's. If we go back to the 1-hour chart, I think I have an extension here. I think I've got an extension here. So these trend lines are basically trend line times. I didn't really want to share them in the past because they are very powerful tools for timing the markets, and they're very simple. But I will share them now because, you know, sharing is caring, and I believe it's a good thing to share sometimes, you know. So basically, the premise of it is that you put a middle point on it, so it's a 50% point, and you go so like 1 point, 2 points, and then you get like a third point, right? And then that gives you a trend line time, and it works for most of the times. It works pretty well. But here's the thing with that, like, you have to be patient, right? This is a 1 day, 2 hours, and then so you have to have an alert. So the thing with me is, personally, I have to have a watch list. I have to make a watch list that is for the dominant coins. By the way, I have a watch list. I have everything basically organized. It's just the next step is to do it, right? So here's the dominance charts for me. These are probably my top picks. We see ICP right here, 8% today. And I mean, it's all about XMR. I was talking about that one in the group. Organization, right? And most of these coins are down. ICP is up 6%. So it's about having a watch list and knowing when to trade these things. And when it hits your thing and you have a good probability because that you've back tested and it's actually a decent one. So what I did today is I went through my perpetuals, and there's about, what, 198. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Like missing one or two. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get stopped out. I'm still up like 2 hours, but it doesn't look very good for MATIC. But yeah, anyways, I took the 98 and I separated them into like bad, good, right? And I'm gonna make this a little bit better, so only 4 of them, and then decent. You know, the purple's decent, and then this one's just the totals. These are very important charts in here, and it's just all about being organized and having a filtering process. So like, we don't want to focus on all these. These are all the very bearish ones because it broke the low of the low on the perpetuals. Yeah, and we want to focus on like 20 coins and like trade in like 5 of them. Anyhow, let's continue on this TA, because if we understand the trend and we have pivotal points in time, in price, we will have, like, for example, say that this theory worked, right, with the trend line, and you had a perfect timing. So here's the principle. You get to know when it should reverse, and if it doesn't reverse, then you put a stop loss and you keep raising your stop loss, and that's how you get really good R multiples and decent probabilities at the same time. Like this one here would have been a good bounce, so you got to find, okay, well, this Fibonacci was a pretty good one. It wicked, you know, and like I said, this is all theory. We have to get this organized for 3%, so that we could, and then of course another Fibonacci if we added I think this one here, where is it, from the low? Yeah, one of those two got the exact, or yeah, it was of the whole range right here. Got the exact low pretty much on this one. So yeah, let's get back to the trend. This is interesting. I like to explain this because this is the opportunity. I believe a lot of bots are set on here, and we got to know if they're still set on them. Are they still buying, or are they not buying anymore, and we're going to literally go down? Because this is obvious that they're buying. They're wicking. They're wicking on this one as well, the white one. That's what it is, right? And then because they're trying to support as much as they can. The same thing here. Like, so that 4 billion that we were talking about, or like this guy, they all bought on the 5, on the green EMA, and then when here you see that low volume, this is a bull flag on low volume, and then bang, huge buy, and you had your retracement right on the moving averages, and then just literally pumped that much. So that's about 200%, 250%. Okay, so this is the question right here. We have the 89 moving average EMA coming close to time. It's going to in 16 days, and this is what I'm talking about. It has to be price with time, and 16 days. You know, when the 89 gets to the bottom, like this has to be very, very strategic, very organized, and that's how you basically win at this strategy. It's all about organization, because in 16 days is going to be the opportunity, if we're still above the 89, because we can start trending on this thing and then just keep going, keep trending, as they have already done in the past. It's proven. But here's the thing with Elliott waves, right? There's 5 wave counts, and that's why I'm asking myself, is this thing done? Let's go on the macro time frame. This again is still the bullish cycle. I haven't gotten the bear cycle yet or the total cycle yet. By the way, the total cycle is absolutely amazing on this thing. But that's the thing, right? There's a lot of variables, because they are bots, right? They're bots. They're not humans. So we have to kind of basically, as a human myself, we have to basically simplify things to the point where it's the most efficient, right? And most profitable. We don't want to be wasting time or anything like this. So here's the 5-day. The yellow EMA is going to be at the bottom here in like 10 days. But this trend's not really bullish, so I'm not really interested in that. I'm more interested in this trend right here, which is literally in a year. So I'll see you next year, you know. I'll see you next year. But at the same time, we have to understand that if the 89 is going to be bullish in a year, hey, maybe that has something to do with the wave 4 coming downwards. That is literally going to attack this 89. So we might be consolidating. And what's the rule of alternation? What's the rule of alternation when it comes to Elliott wave? Post in the comments below. This one here retraced at the 61.8. The rule of alternation and Elliott waves. And we can expect this one to retrace to this guy right here. Okay, the 382. Once again, let me check the time parameter on this 89. It's all about organizing, you know, once again. So 60 bars. That's a long time. Whoa, way over there. Okay, so I mean, if we're gonna form a huge bull flag on on the 5-day chart, it would look something like this. As these guys are going to, like that, it could look something like that, because if these guys are so bullish on MATIC for some reason, that they're going to, let's go ahead and hide drawings, that they're going to buy on these moving averages, especially this one. Here's the thing though with prices. We have a huge bearish divergence here on the 5-day chart, right? This is the top call, okay? And then the MACD is like way down, like we're talking way down. So I'm gonna be surprised if they don't turn off their bots at some point, you know. So they already sold more than half the supply at the top here. So the supply on MATIC is 6 billion. The total supply on it is 10 billion, and they sold 4 billion right here at the top. They sold another 4 billion here at the top, and this was accumulated. This was supported, right? And then after it broke, and bang, they sold on market. It's the only option. The top of bull market. Wave 3, 5 of 3. So the next opportunity that we have here is on the daily chart. You see that the 89 here is still in trend. It's currently in the wave 3 of the 5. So do I have statistics on these numbers? Unfortunately, I don't, especially on MATIC. There's not that much data. But when it comes to the fractals of Elliott wave patterns, that's when we can really start understanding what the bots are doing. Because if we understand that it goes through either the micro and then it goes on, because what I see so often is that I go on the second charts and then I see the pattern unfold in a larger time frame, and that's just something that I've observed in the crypto space during the 2 or 3 or 4 years that I've been around. Especially with the micros, they start moving on to the macros. fractals because that's basically just what they do. They replicate price action. Okay, so that's the question. I mean, if you guys don't mind, I'll do it in this video, right? I like doing these videos because it gives me motivation to actually do the work necessary, and actually makes me think smarter. You know, it's like a stimulus to action, I'm not gonna lie. So if the 89 here is in, because everything starts coming to me when I start thinking like this way. So if the 89 here and is in this third wave right here, this is 4 and this is 5, basically what we would do, we would go on a lower time frame chart and we would look for what was the third wave here, what happened. Okay, so that's basically how we think about in the micro. To be honest though, I would be using the 21 hour. The daily is good too, but the daily goes with the daily time frames, the hourly goes with the hourlies, and the minutes with the minutes. But like the minutes are like, I don't think it's a very good thing to use the minutes, because unless you're trending like literally 50% in a day, because it's not that, it's like a headache at the same time, you know, because choppy. Like right now I'm about to break even on MATIC or take a 1 hour loss, because it's very choppy right now on the 1 minute chart. Okay, so just understand, like, I'm still learning this game too, and if we can all profit together, then all the better. So you see how this 21 is 89 right here. This is the time, this is the price. Gann has a concept called squaring price with time. I have my own version of it. It's through a calculator, but you have to update it. And like I said, like, if there's any PineScript coders in the chat right now, honestly, post in the comments below, because we can start and we can honestly make such a great team effort. By the way, the total chart on the 5 minutes breaking down here through the double bottom here. So MATIC's probably gonna stop me out. We can build like very strong indicators that will help not just, you know, us, but perhaps possibly other people as well. So yeah, here's the 21 hour chart. This one's closing in 14 hours. We have 2 resistances right here. By the way, these PineScript, like, I've done this myself, but I did have help from someone else. We have 2 resistances right here. Okay, so about at $1 or 97 cents. Let's be right on. And this one here is at $1 right on. So about like 3 cents difference. That's how Gann traded as well. He has a rule of 3 for your stop loss. For 3 points, we'd have to time this by about 100. But anyways, we'll keep that out of the equation for now. And what do we? Oh yeah, so let's do that little back test, right? We'll talk about a back test here. So 89 here. So this is where it was right here. So about 3 hours per the day. So minus 3 hours. We were in here in the third wave in here. Okay. So this really does take like effort to think about, and I don't think it's appropriate to do it in this video. But I just wanted to introduce you guys a little something in MATIC's trend that will probably give us a nice little bounce right here, as we haven't touched it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, if this is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 maybe, and then another one upwards. That's kind of what I was counting on. But this is a larger 4. But I mean, it's going to be hard for us to continue to try if the total is so down. If the total is so down, right? So let's go right to the total, and we can kind of get an understanding of what's going on here. So I'm still in profit right here, but I'm literally like break even on this trade. Where's am I stopped out yet? Yeah, I have to refresh it. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Hold on. So I bought like I took a chance on this double bottom, potential double bottom, without even looking at the lower time frames. Okay, so just on perpetuals, right? Now I'm looking at this one right here. It's like bro, it broke. I didn't know it broke on the this USDT one. Bro, this is not a good trade. This invalidates the reason why I entered. So I should definitely not be in this trade. But again, like on the perpetuals, it's like a triple bottom right now. But I'm like almost positive this thing's gonna go down here. So yeah, like we have to have like really good rules, strict rules and guidelines. So right now I could either break even or I could take my 1 hour loss. What would you do if you were in my position and you saw this chart? Right, I was playing it as a double bottom. 1, 2, it did come up here. Maybe I should have de-risked my account a little bit, right? For about 3% gain, could have took half. But I mean, I was going for a solid hitter right there, right? Oh yeah, let's take a look one more time. We'll take a look at the lower time frames. Here's the thing, right? Like I said, I have to build criteria for entries and stuff like that, and stick to those and build habits, because realistically, I don't think I should be long when you're in a downtrend. You know, you should only be long if you're in an uptrend. So what time frame are we in an uptrend? Literally you have to go up to like a 12-hour chart, okay? 12-hour chart, and then you start to see an uptrend. So this one here is just trying to keep it, but I don't know, man, like 1 more hour here. So here's the thing, the reason why I made this indicator, this bot, is to time the crossovers. And you see how angled this moving average is? That's not really good, because it just basically like gets the shorts. This is like all resistance right here. This 1.4% of resistance, right? But if you can break the resistance, it becomes strong support. And like this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, and then it comes up here if it breaks resistance. So it's all about mass pressure, because here's the thing with bots, you have to really think about the market makers. If they're shorting here, not selling, shorting, they could be selling real assets, but if they're shorting, not on this one, on perpetuals, when they get stopped out, by the way, that's still a lot of volume, that's real sells, right? That's real sells right here, guys. These guys are distributing still. That's not good for us. What were we saying? Oh yeah, when we break the resistance, these guys are gonna have to take their loss, their stop loss on futures, and it's just basically it's gonna go up, right? Because all these guys here are gonna get wrecked, and basically all these guys here that have been shorting all day are gonna get wrecked. Now let's go to the total chart, because let's rock and roll here. This chart's gonna really blow your mind, I think. By the way, you see how the 89 is right here, and by the way, I really need someone to help bring this 89 higher. Like I've been trying to figure it out all day, bring it above the candle and like that, because it's just not really helpful down here. Someone did it for me, but I think I screwed it up somehow. Anyhow, it's this one right here. You see how it's downtrending? That means this yellow is downtrending for the next, you know, little while anyways. So I don't know, maybe make a channel like that. That's something else that you can figure out yourself, you know, be creative about the TA. But at the same time, these people that are very successful, you know what they are? They're not creative with TA, but they're creative about their money management strategies. So we can talk about that in future videos. For example, like there's a coach on psychology and trading called Van Tharp, and he's got great books, and he's very recommended as for any trader looking to profit in the markets here. Yeah, so keeping it simple is really important. So let's start off with the monthly chart here, okay? Like I said in the other video here on the total, excuse me. Yeah, I just got stopped out on the other one. Well, it was a 20 to 1. and it's all good. It's starting to downtrend pretty nicely now. All right, so here's the 21, or the total market cap. In the last video, I mentioned on the 34-day chart, or even on the monthly, we'll just do it, that there was a really nasty spinning candle, top resistance candle, with so much volume that we've never seen before, right? It was an obvious reversal pattern. So I want to talk about this monthly right here, guys. Okay, so 8 more days, 18 hours, and yes, we might be able to close above it, which would be good for the trend. Let's go down to the weekly chart, and I'm going to actually use this one here. I did this already. Sorry about this. Yeah, there's a few charts here that are pretty freaking good. I don't like this indicator that much because it's not very good. This one was 1618, so there's a few things on on this chart that we're watching here as a 4. I think a lot of people are expecting this for a third wave of this guy here, 1 2 3, okay, and that would be a 4 coming downwards here, and then kind of like that. But here's what I have for this idea. We're gonna take a look at this correction right here, okay. Let's actually go ahead and pull up this one here. So you see how this was 88, or let's call it 89 bars and 49 candles. By the way, that's a very special number when it comes to Elliott waves, 49. Don't ask me why, it's just in the books. So 88, so like right around here. So that's where we could expect perhaps a possible pullback, to be honest. Pretty sure that's what it was, because my other extension was like 100 bill. Oh yeah, that was something else. That was a bearish count. That was a bearish count right here. I've been thinking about this count since, you know, we reached the bottom here. I think even this one. That so we haven't got stopped out yet or invalidated on this 1618 for this to not be a count, in my opinion. For correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know, but for the B wave right here, and then the 61.8, the 1.618 is going to be like all the way down there where the C wave is. So here's a Fibonacci. Let me actually fix that up here, the A wave. Okay, there you go. So this, the 1618, depending on if we're bullish or not. Like, okay, so if we're bullish, we can retrace right here. Let me show the wave. Okay, but if we're bearish, it's like the 1618 is the retrace right here. So that would be very interesting. We also have the 236 right here. Those are all valid retracements. So yeah, and that would kind of work out right here as well, right? So ABC, that would be a massive wave 4 pattern that was from the 2017. That could work. And then off to the races. Oh my gosh, you see that's like a Fibonacci number right here. It's like 223 bars and on the weekly right here, and it looks just so proportionate right here. Okay, wow. MATIC looks like it's getting wicked out right now, like to the upside. It's going up. Really interesting. Really interesting stuff, you know. But we're still in a downtrend, so to be honest, that's kind of all I wanted to bring to the table here. Okay. Yeah, I want to show you guys a little bit more on this count, because if you saw my last video on the total, it was pretty spot on what happened was that we came up for another high. I forgot which it was here. I think it was like that, and I called it 236, and then a down move. Guys, I just want to show you how exactly spot on this was here. So I was calling from here, if you guys remember. It's probably from a month ago, to be honest, or at least 20 days ago. I don't know. So I was calling for one more wave upwards, because the reason I knew it was possibly here, was because of this price action here, and then we came back up, right? So how did I measure it? I went like this, and then I said, okay, this one was the 236, perfect. Okay, I went back here, and I measured the same thing. I said, okay, well, this was the wick that we were talking about. It was on the 8-hour chart, and it looks exactly like it. It did. Last time I did the analysis here. Where was it? Was it this one? No. But anyways, it was. It took the retracement, and I had the exact same time. So, and then I had an arrow going downwards. So all I want to say is that it is still in trend, guys. It's in contango. So it was probably easier just for me to write it on the weekly chart, but I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about here. I don't want to waste too much time, but like, this is something that you want to keep in mind, especially if you want to make money trading cryptocurrency, and because of the fact that in 86 days we might bottom out. Okay, but right now, tomorrow, the reason why I'm actually making this video here with a little bit of urgency is, and if you've stuck through it this far, you should congratulate yourself, because tomorrow it looks like we are going to have a short squeeze. And if that's true, it's going to be for 3 days. Hold on, not this one, sorry, this one. Yeah, it's going to be for 3 days, and then it's going to continue downwards. There's two options that you can do. You can either long it tomorrow, or today, or whatever, tomorrow, Monday, for a potential retracement, right, to the 61.8 is what happened last time. 61.8 retracement right into the wave 1 territory. Let's delete that, wave 1 territory right here, and then start impulsing downwards. So for ABC, ABC, right, for the longer term. But we're just going to focus on this guy right here, because if it's wrong, then the whole count could be wrong. But at the same time, like, there's a rule of 3, right? So it's like plus or minus 2 when it comes to statistics. So give it 1 or 2 days for an up move. And so we counted. I should really go back for the percentages. I know it's the same one because I already did it. And I wanted to do it on camera there for YouTube for you guys. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Right here. So 12 bars with 52%. Let's put this on the daily. Perfect. So remember the number: 12 bars, 12 days, and 52%. 12 days, 12 bars, and 52%. By the way, MATIC, here's the thing with Gann. He says always trade the trend is one of his rules, and pyramid. So he was actually like a really good trader, and it's because he had the knowledge. And one of the knowledge brands was how to pyramid. So you see that 12 bars and 52%. We were off by 1% on the 53 there, but 52 is going to be tomorrow. So what we're going to expect here is that the same 3-day bars, right, 3 days, inside that wave 1, which was a 61.8 expansion in 3 days, okay? And we can actually go for the wick depending on how bearish we are. We also have volume profiles and a couple other levels, but we need to keep things simple, guys, in order for us to actually profit in these markets, in these high volatile markets, for great RRs and high R multiples. We need to stay focused, and hopefully by building some type of channel that will keep me accountable to making, say, daily videos or at least weekly videos, in order for us to focus on swing trade opportunities that are here, that the markets offer us. Okay, so let's say that tomorrow does bounce. It bounces into that 61.8 like we've already done, and then we see a huge C wave down. I think it was 40%, and it also hit its 61.8. Okay, so these are all literally like things that I've learned from, great people, from the past, and reading, thousands of hours through books, and I need to put this knowledge into action. And one of those things is to pyramid. The pyramid is key. That's why I have this in the background is the pyramid, because I kind of believe that kind of how the U.S. government works. I'm not resident of the U.S. government, but like, bro, that's what they do. They print money in the pyramid stock market, and so in every market really. Until what's the I for? What does the I represent? The I represents the top of the market where you need to get out. You know what I mean? So you keep moving up your stop losses. If I take a look at MATIC right now, I mean, it's 5. If you sold the retrace, you'd be up 5% right now, trading with the trend, with the line of least resistance. But I saw a great opportunity, not probable though. But anyways, okay, so let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow's bounce, possible bounce scenario. So today, let's just say it goes all the way down here for 90%, and then goes for the short squeeze, and then here's the 14%. What happens after that? It was a huge triangle like this, boom, 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 and then a huge dip down. Okay, so we're gonna get to that when the time comes. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for the news, and like I said, I'm gonna try to here. Let's take a look at MATIC here, because we are kind of traders, right? And we want to learn from mistakes, and we want to do the best that we can in our ability. So let's take a look at the 30-minute. We'll end it off like this. The 30-minute RSI, the MACD. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to keep these on my charts, because I have so many ideas and stuff like that. Like, I like Fibonacci, I like EMAs. I know I like the RSI, but it's like having too much is not good. That's why it's kind of good to have a network that masters each of their plans and stuff, So yeah, here's MATIC. Here's the 15-minute chart. And I just wanted to bring an example here of something of pyramiding, right? So I took the long here, and it went up like 4% or 5%. A little bit different on the exchange. I don't know what's up with that, but oh yeah, no, it's because I went down 6%. So let's just say that you caught this retracement right here, because of the fact that the books that I've studied recently say that you want to. I'll keep it to myself because it didn't even work on this fraction. It's all about the equation that the bots are using, right? And we do have a study group going if you guys want to. There's a few books that I would recommend, but they're kind of pricey. That's the thing with these books. They're kind of pricey, and I don't know. Yeah. So it's called Trading the Measured Move by Halsey. I'll just search it up for you guys. It's honestly a really good trading book, but it's like $100. Trading the so I mean, invest in your education before you completely Trading the Measured Move. It's honestly a really good book. It's just Fibonacci's, or basically it's just Fibonacci. I think he uses tick charts too, and like he does the stock market, and it's a really good book. Another book I would recommend is like this one here, so VPA. This one will get your thinking right when it comes to the hold on, when it comes to the markets, as market makers, applying volume, really understand what's going on with accumulation, distribution, and she talks about, this girl and her husband talks about like how the markets. She talks about basically Wyckoff, all in one book, Dow theory, Gann, but she doesn't mention Gann. All these great, Jesse Livermore a lot. All these great market operators from the past, what they used to do and how they used to kind of predict and engage the market, and how it's the same thing today. Once you mix these two books together, you start to really understand what is today's markets. And today's markets is heavily traded by bots. This guy actually says that 90% of the volume is traded by computer algorithms. So that's kind of something that you guys want to kind of know, probably. So why is that important? Well, it'll help you with understanding a few things. Volume will help you understand, okay, when the people are going to get liquidated and when you can probably predict that. Like, for example, on MATIC, I was calling a liquidation call like last week because of the fact that there's too many people leveraged. And when you talk about trading the measure move in GANs, this guy at least has targets, right? But some people just literally pyramid, buy on leverage, and boom, 10% down wipes them out, 20% down wipes them out. You know, that's what, 10x, 5x leverage? That's nothing. Where something like on MATIC, everyone gets liquidated at the same time. This thing fell 60% in a few hours and then came right back up. Those are opportunity, those are plays, but you have to set your mind to it. You have to be tuned to the market to understand that these plays happen all the time, but not all the time. So only like 5 or 6 times a year. So I would recommend these two books, but like I said, it takes not just money to buy them, but time, energy, focus, effort to study them, and the will to actually use it after. So that's why, like, this guy also has to stay in the game. Like, this book I really recommend, okay, because it's like, if you want a trading strategy, this guy offers 5-to-1 RR. 5-to-1 RR, good probabilities. You can probably adjust it yourself a little bit, depending if you want to do the back testing and do even more effort. But this strategy is good. I've tested it myself and it's made me money, and it makes you good money. It makes you feel good when you get in, because it's a 5-to-1 trade. You really can't lose on it, because like, you take 5 trades, and you just got to know when to use it, and that's kind of the tricky part. It's always with the time frames. So what he uses was like the daily chart he'll use. I don't know if he uses the weekly. I have to double check that. I'm gonna summarize the books for our study group soon. I think he actually uses the weekly chart and then goes down to the daily chart and then straight to the 15. Nothing else, right? So daily 15, and then I think he goes for tick charts. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that's all he uses. Daily, weekly. Oh yeah, micro. I think he uses maybe. I'm not 100% sure, just to check if the retracement failed. But he doesn't. Yeah, I'll have to recap on the next time, on the next video. Okay, so yeah, and this one here is just volume, guys. It's like volume and the basics of candlesticks and what they really mean. So, like, let's see if there's any pictures here. So it's honestly like like, this is stuff that you're going to understand or study. Accumulation, cause, retest. Like, this is probably something you would want to print out, to be honest with you, because it happens all the time. Distribution, you know, Gann, what's it called? His books explain this. You know, he explains it in his books a lot. It's all about this accumulation, trending phase, distribution, reaccumulation, and it takes years. to do this properly as market makers. And so you have to kind of know also the supply and demand, like how much supply is in there. And that's why I think it's important to have a watch list and really connect the dots here, connect all of the dots, because that's what it is, man. It's about really connecting all of the dots. And I hope that this YouTube channel can help me and help each other connect the dots. All right, so hope you like this video and enjoy. Peace, happy, successful, and safe trading. Bye.